Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee Books and Rain. I'm Rachel, but today I am also a vampire. So, I picked up the wig and it is from Amazon, easy to find. I picked up this cool little laurel wreath crown because I thought it was also pretty cool. These teeth are atrocious. They are not fantastic. I do apologize if I tend to have a lisp while I'm doing this. My bite is not as good as the producers of these teeth guaranteed me that they would be. I thought they would be good quality because I think I paid like $25 for them. They're not worth it. So, we'll have to continue shopping around for them. And plus, the thermoplastic that is attached is awful. It is so awful. It is like all smeared all over my teeth. When I take these things out, I don't think they're gonna go back in. I think they're just gonna. I'm gonna have to like figure something out and go on Amazon and try to find different molding stuff to melt, like to put on my teeth for the next time I want to wear them. Because I like wearing vampire teeth. Those just right now, they're awful. So, and even like I wanted the tips of my nails to be like red like my flowers, but they're like berry colored. Not quite the same. Dang it. But anyway, welcome back to Coffee Books and Rain, and I have a really interesting book I ran across on NetGalley, and I requested it because it has a big jack-o'-lantern head on it, and it's called A Decade of Death and Decisions by Drew Hayes. And I didn't know anything about this book, but I got it in an audiobook, and I was intrigued because what was this book about? What does A Decade of Death and Decisions with a jack-o'-lantern head have to do with Halloween? Well, let me tell you. So let me click this little button. Now, the expected publication date for this book is October 15th of 2024. It was actually fairly long, almost 700 pages, but I had the audiobook and it was still about 17 hours long. So, I will say a little girthy, a little bit long, pretty darn good though, because it does cover like 10 years worth of Halloweens. So, let me read you the summary. In October of 2013, Drew Hayes began posting a story to his website, written over the 13 days leading up to Halloween. When each chapter ended, the next step was chosen by his readers. Sometimes this would lead to great discoveries, triumphs, others led to dead ends. Though even in those, there was much to be gleaned. For 10 years, this tradition occurred until the year 2022, the readers chose the finale. This is their tale of deaths and decisions that spanned a decade. So, this is a book that Drew Hayes apparently had on his website for 10 years, spanning from 2013 to 2022. And over the course of 10 years, he would have his readers help him write the next couple of chapters. And you can tell through the book that there are polls that would say, what do you want to happen next? And he would give 3 choices of what would happen next. Now, again, I was listening to the audiobook, so I would usually, as I'm audiobooking, so earlier today, I was audiobooking part of this, and I would just say out loud, like, what I wanted to happen next. And sometimes I would, like, sometimes my choice would be the one that the audience, or the readers would also choose, and sometimes it wouldn't be, and I was like, dang it. But there also were kind of like mystery puzzles to solve that he would give you some letters of like phrases, hidden phrases and things like that. Hang on. My bangs are doing something weird. They're getting I don't know what they're doing. There we go. Anyway, I've got my bangs underneath here, and you don't want to see blonde underneath my, yeah, there we go. They're good enough. Anyway, so he would have his readers kind of solve things along the way. And I'm trying to fix it so it doesn't look so weird. There. I'm not getting this very well. There. I just have to look in the mirror that it's over my head. But so the first Halloween, the writer and his friend Jim, and so you do start out with, you don't know the narrator's name, and you just know him as the narrator. And he goes as a wizard, and his roommate Jim, who is this pretty much party animal, constantly inebriated, constantly chemically enhanced dude, go to a Halloween party, and he the narrator has gone to this costume shop and gotten a costume from this mystery woman, and that's kind of where everything starts, the story. So he is supposed to either give up a dream, or he's got to give up a dream, or kind of live a dream. Like, he gets a dream, but he's got to give up a dream. So that's kind of the deal that he's made with regards to this costume that he gets from this old woman's shop for Halloween. So he goes to this haunted house, like, celebration, and so his dream, he makes it kind of realistic, is that he's going to talk to, like, Veronica. Veronica is, like, kind of his high school crush that he never talked to. So that's what he's going to do, is he's going to talk to her at this party. So he knows she's going to be here because she's a popular girl, and but that's what he's going to do. He's going to talk to her. So as the night progresses, things are really weird. People who are dressed like knights are, like, really, really dressed like knights. People who are dressed like ghosts are floating through walls. Yeah, so, like, the people's costumes are weirdly turning them into their costumes. Like, they are their costumes. So this one dude, who is kind of like a superhero, is weirdly maybe impervious to a lot of things, like a token superhero that we may know. But he becomes kind of like a doucheman because he is not a good dude. He is not maybe the Clark Kent or the Henry Cavill that we all might know and love. So he becomes kind of the nemesis that must be defeated for this particular Halloween. And so our narrator, who doesn't seem like he definitely seems like the underdog, has to figure out a way to survive what ends up being like this costume contest. It's pretty much like the person who at the end of the night has their full costume will win the costume contest. And sadly, our narrator doesn't win, but it's a good thing, because he tags up with, like, his friend Jim, but also this witch who's going by the name of Circe. And Circe turns out to be, like, she's dressed like a witch. She looks like kind of like an old woman, because of course her costume has made her look like kind of a haggard old woman. And so nobody else is really talking to her. And so, but she seems to be able to have some witchy abilities. So he's like, well, she seems to have some powers. Like, let's go for it. And by the end of the night, he's like, yeah, this was a pretty good crew. And Veronica ends up being the Circe Witch. So he is able to accomplish his dream goal of talking to Veronica because he had just tagged up with her for the whole night. So anyway, so the whole night, that's just Halloween 1. Over the course of the 10 years, each more or less chapter is a different Halloween. So you do get 10 different Halloweens, spanning 10 different years. And you do just kind of like, as we get to the next Halloween, you get talks and glimpses of what's happening in between. Like, you'll get like various alien invasions or like alien abductions or Mardi Gras mishaps or St. Patrick's Day, like I guess leprechauns running amok. You'll get, gosh, there's just so many different things. Turkey Day, like Thanksgiving things, other things that they're also having to try to survive throughout the year, not just Halloween, but Halloween is the one specific one that they all come together. Ultimately, they have to get the narrator's brother involved, Thad, and Thad is like this golden child, golden boy who definitely has some sort of weird good luck charm, sort of like life energy. He has definitely got all the odds in his favor. We'd get a skeleton roommate who opens his own coffee shop along the way, so that's super fun. But it is, for the 10 years that this must have run on this guy's kind of website, this was a choose your own adventure for the readers of that time. And so that had to be really cool. So now that this book is coming available, probably in the next, let's see, as of this recording, it's going to come out like in a few days. So maybe I'll try to drop this pretty close to that, because I bet this is going to be super cool for those readers to finally see this book out on the shelves, to kind of relive that. Because I know that I had a hard time putting this down. I actually flew through this book for as long as it was, for as many hours as it was. I really wanted to know what was going to happen for each Halloween. And I thought it was really clever and creative. So what do we have? I'm not going to go through each of them, but we had like the traditional haunted house, we had like haunted carnival, we had like we go trick-or-treating one year, we have to face off against like good guy, like, well, they're kind of good guys, they're not really good guys, but people encroaching on people's territory. We have to go to an office party. We have to, there's lots of different things that happen. So it's a little bit of time jumping. So with all of that, like, there is a lot going on. So I think the only thing about this book is it is wild. It is absolutely wild what ultimately happens at the end of this book. Like, where it ultimately goes was not where I thought this book was going. It was wild. And so by the end of it, I was a little thrown off. But honestly, I think I'm gonna give 5 stars. I was completely engrossed. Not having been a participant in the choosing my own adventure, still felt like I was like getting to choose my own adventure, because I was still yelling out, like, every time they would ask me the poll of 1, 2, or 3, was still yelling out the ones that I wanted, even if the choice was already made, because the book was already written. I don't care. It's just lengthy. Like, for those who may be daunted by a 697-page book like this, I get it. It is kind of lengthy. it is 10 Halloweens that you may just be like, wow, that's a lot. So I get it. Um, so, other than that, I don't see any reason not to pick this book up. I think it could be absolutely fun. And so I hope you will read it. I hope you will dive into it and take your time working through your Halloweens and figure out what's going on with it. And then let me know what you think, because it's a choose your own adventure. And I think that's the first one like this that we've done before. I know it's one of the first ones I've ever read on this channel before, like in my first one I really ever read. Because I just haven't found any this clever before. I think in the past of the choose your own adventures, they just really haven't been up my alley with like regards to maybe content and context that I've really wanted to read. But this one, because it was already kind of done, I just got to let it play out, and as an audiobook, it was great. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you will like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next page. Have a great one. Bye.